To understand what Ford is all about, you really have to understand this car, the 2025 Ford Mustang. If you're like me and you've loved Mustangs right from the early days, the 60s designs with the chrome and the beautiful V8s, that throaty sound, it evoked a time of kind of a golden era of motoring. The Mustang keeps the tradition going. And this is the latest version. It is a brand new body on a platform that has been with us for several generations, around 20 years or thereabouts. This is the Mustang GT. It's a 5-litre version with the Coyote V8, 345 kilowatts, and an absolutely panty-wettingly beautiful body. The rear does a little dance as you approach it. Boot, not huge, but it does the job. And there's a lovely big Bang Olufsen bass speaker. I've left it on because I just love the sound of that V8. It's got proper vents too, and these aren't fake. And the wheels, those black wheels with the Mustang in the middle, just beautiful, with the Brembo calipers behind, front and back. And locking is just by touching the little divot on the door handle. I'm going to show you the back seats and why I'm not even going to bother demonstrating. There is just no room. They're just decorative, meant for little wee people and parcels of David Jones shopping. The front, this really is a 2-seater car, and the front is where you want to be. The steering wheel is pure Ford, though I feel this Mustang insignia it's a little bit flat, like the previous generation. It needed some profiling, something to make it interesting. But now we've got a proper digital dash, which includes a large infotainment screen and the driver screen that can be changed to a whole lot of different personas. One of them is a classic one, which I didn't fancy very much. The trim all feels beautiful, as you'd expect for a car costing nearly $100,000 on the road. And there are little nods to chrome from the 60s. And as I said, Bang & Olufsen sound. There's a favourite button. I've got this to make the exhaust louder, just to see. And this is the pony button, where you can customize your car, including the displays, etc., etc. So for example, you can see 67, and that's what 67 looks like. I like a digital speed readout, so that was pretty hopeless for me. So let's go back to normal, and that gives you just the normal data and a digital speedo. We've got a phone charging pad down below and a USB outlet, 12-volt outlet, and thank goodness I had my dash cam plugged in, because this happened. Oh, Jesus! And what looks like a handbrake. However, when you pull it up, you get a message on the dashboard saying, press brake pedal down to do something or other. I just think it's a daft idea, but apparently it is there because you can drift this car. Don't know why you'd want to drift it, because it's beautiful, and drifting makes lots of noise, but it shreds your tyres. The base GT comes in a manual, but you can get a 10-speed automatic if that's your thing. Frankly, I prefer the manual, though the auto is slightly better on fuel. Speaking of fuel, you can see that our trip computer confirms 11.2 litres per 100 kilometres, which I think isn't too bad for a 5-litre V8 with 345 kilowatts. Do like this big red start engine button. And like most sports cars, the centre console armrest pin is just a token. I've released the handbrake by pushing down on the lever with my foot on the brake pedal, but you don't have to actually do that. It will release itself. It has rev matching, which I'll show you in a tick. Oh, that Coyote just sounds fantastic. It is a reworked Coyote. It's like everything in this car. They said it was all new, but it's not really all new. It's mostly new. And for our purposes, that's absolutely fine. One of the things I can see on the driver instruments is how my car's tuned. In other words, what features I've got activated. For example, my suspension, I can change that. I can change the steering feel, and I can change the throttle response. Gosh, that's bright. Now, did you hear that little brrr? That's the rev matching. Another feature that you can turn on or off in the center console. The stop start only works when you have, oh, there you go, your foot off the clutch and the car in neutral. So if I was to put my foot on the clutch, the stop start turns off. So I'll select first. One of the things that I really like about the interior of this car is that I feel special. And that's why I say I think this is the pinnacle of Ford. You can see I brought my CarPlay up. I can have an extended display if I want. I've got the audio off at the moment, simply because if you have the radio playing while you've got YouTube on, you're in a world of hurt. I think it's sad that the art of using a manual transmission is somewhat lost, and obviously in EVs it's completely redundant. Don't have a gearbox of any description. But this one is an absolute peach. That's the thing that it's been doing to me this week, is telling me to put my hands on the wheel even when my hands are on the wheel. And I found that when the cruise control was on, it was telling me to put my hands on the wheel even if I moved the steering wheel, because that's what it's usually telling you to do. It thinks you're taking your hands off the wheel. A couple of interesting facts about the ADAS. As with a lot of manual cars, there are some of the ADAS features that are missing, or at least only partially present. So for example, the smart cruise control, and there is smart cruise control on this, doesn't work in queues because it can't press a clutch. Be very clever if it could. And the lane centering is only in the automatic version as well, which seems rather strange. Now, while I haven't had this car on a track, I have had it in the tight mountain bends, and it is just joyous. I can't help but feel that at least some of the talent inherent in this Coyote V8 is wasted. Most of the time, this GT, suitable for crossing countries, you can certainly fit enough luggage in the back for two. Its immense power and immense acceleration is kind of wasted on stuff like this. But I think being able to learn to drive a manual is, I think it's a skill worth learning. The pony cars have a lot of things going for them, not the least being their iconography. Police chases, the movies, the special appearances. You see this on a steering wheel, and it's Route 66. You could be in the Stelvio Pass in one of these, and you see that on the steering wheel, and you're transported straight back to Route 66. It's Middle America, it's apple pie. Maybe not the United States just at the moment. It's a bit of a basket case. That's all for the brilliant Ford Mustang GT. There will be never another car like this. I fear we've seen the end of the Mustang line. That's a sad day for motoring. Anyway, as always, hit like, leave a comment, and just on the round thing to subscribe.